All right, hello denizens of Africa and surrounding prosperous city-states. We are back, and we are very gay, gay.
We are. This is very true. We're back at here, though, with another episode of who knows what, really. You know, just a lot of insane shit, hopefully. Hopefully entertaining. Maybe not. Only time will tell.
It is going to be entertaining because the thing is I just dry scooped like 2 spoonfuls of honey.
Yeah, well,
that's how I'm serious. Like,
I thought you were gonna say, something like pre-workout or something like that, but no, honey.
You know how much
fucking
works. Sugar
is
in honey?
But you know what? It tastes great.
It does taste great.
It tastes fantastic. It's like peanut butter, right? Is it healthy? Fuck no. Does it taste good? Absolutely.
Yeah, and honestly, you can sneak in like a little spoonful of peanut butter.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you have a little bit, or if you're like intentionally trying to bulk up, it's a pretty good food for bulking. It's just not like a lot of people are like, it's a great source of protein. I'm like, well, not really, but you could
have a Greek yogurt instead.
Greek yogurt's fantastic, actually. If you're looking for lean protein, that's also like tastes pretty good, but it's also not like meat. It's a different form of protein. Greek yogurt is great. It's also you can get like they actually make like ultra high protein versions that have like 25 grams.
I buy them at the grocery store. I buy them
sometimes as well, like just to snack on.
You get the strawberry?
I usually go with strawberry because it's it's hard to go wrong with strawberry, but sometimes I like to try the other flavors. It's really hit or miss though. Some of the flavors are really good and some of them suck.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I like the strawberry a lot, but one thing I like about Greek yogurt is, like you said, it's lean. But also, it'll fill you the fuck up.
It'll actually fill you up.
That's what I need because I don't like to eat every 2 seconds.
Well, exactly. I mean, especially with us, we got some fat ass tendencies. So for us, it's very necessary to feel full. Even if you haven't had that many calories, feeling full is very helpful going through the day.
Absolutely. That's why I usually have a lot of protein for breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a carb hater at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't have many carbs for breakfast generally, because generally I notice that if I eat them first thing in the morning, I feel kind of sluggish later on, got some brain fog and stuff like that. So I stick to mainly just protein.
Yeah, usually, I mean, it really depends for me because, depending on how much time I have in the morning, I usually don't have a ton of time, like when I'm getting ready for work. But usually what I would do is I do like eggs and egg whites and then maybe like some Greek yogurt. Recently I've honestly just been having a couple slices of bread because I've had 30 minutes in the morning to get ready. But on a good day I'll have like Greek yogurt and like eggs and maybe something else thrown in there.
Yeah, my go-to breakfast is generally 3 eggs, 2 to 3 eggs, and then a Greek yogurt, sometimes a banana.
This is why people think you're a homosexual. It's because you're eating bananas.
I was actually going to ask you, when did you first realize that you were a homosexual? Like the first thought, like when you were, because did you like look up like hairy dick?
Because
that's what I did.
What really happened was I started wearing tight pants, and immediately everybody thought I was gay, and that's when I started to have the realization, shit, if everyone thinks I'm gay, I have to be gay. Yeah. So I realized.
Well, as they say,
I'm gonna start sucking cock.
If the shoe fits, you can always wear it.
If the tight pants fit, you can wear them. And even if they don't fit, you can still wear them.
Mine was, I was like...
Yours was like 3rd grade.
Well, no, mine was like 11, and I wanted to find out if I was gay.
Well, that was an obvious
So I just looked up gay porn, and I was like, I don't know if I like his balls hitting his anus. So I was like, I'm going to take a pause on the gay until I'm a little bit older.
No, yeah, it's one of those things that, you really do grapple with it growing up, especially like when you're going through puberty, because there was actually a moment of crisis where I genuinely was like, shit, am I gay? Like, because I really didn't, I had never done anything with, like, a girl before, so, and I was just starting to have these feelings, so I was like, shit, I wonder if I'm gay.
Yeah.
And then I was, like, kind of freaking out about it, like, in my head, and then I like, finally calmed down, and I was like, all right, I don't think I'm actually gay, because I've never been really attracted to guys before. I've always been, I guess, more in touch with my feminine side, but I've never actually been attracted to, like, dudes.
Yeah, mine was, I grew up, I'd think, just like you, am I gay? One thing that definitely didn't help was... there was a period of time where I didn't have a girlfriend. I was going through the middle school grinding, right?
It's terrible.
And then, I didn't have a girlfriend for so long. My mom was like, are you gay?
Yeah.
And then she'd always just be like, oh, so you're gay. And I'm like, Didn't
Well,
say that.
my freak out session was on the bus going to school, middle school.
What grade?
Sixth? I think it was 6th or 7th grade. It was going to obviously Beard Middle, terrible place. And that that I was sitting alone on the bus at like 7:45 in the morning or some shit, and I was like actually like that there was a moment of genuine panic. Like I genuinely was like kind of freaking out. Looking back, it doesn't it's such a silly thing. Like who actually cares? Like nowadays, if I think about sucking a cock, I'm like, all right, if I have like somebody pays me enough money, we'll make it happen.
I will clip that.
Well, exactly. We'll make it happen for enough money, but we can be bought.
We can be bought for the right amount.
For the right amount of money, okay? Exactly.
We don't take gift cards to Wendy's, but give us $2,000 and we may be able to go into the back room.
Exactly. We might be able to work something out, or possibly just give us like a crate of Celsius, like a shipment of Celsius,
or we get a crate of what was I going to say? Crate of grenades. Right?
We're just on the black market.
No, listen. Say we get a free crate of grenades, right? And I've been thinking about this, right? We go to the black market.
You've been thinking about this.
A little bit. You know how I think. But
yes.
We go to the black market. Since the fact that we got the grenades for sucking a cock, that sucks, but at the same time, we got them for free monetarily.
Exactly.
So what we could do is we could sell it. I mean, what is the fair...
We could resell them.
What's the fair value of a grenade?
Probably, I don't know. Probably what? Let's just look it up real quick.
What's the market value of a grenade?
Let's see. Market value.
What is a grenade trading at?
Grenade.
You know what it's trading at right now?
Hold on. Market value of grenade. According to the information, the market value of grenade, the sports nutrition company. All right. So there's a sports nutrition company called Grenade that's valued at 200 million pounds. So theoretically, we get a shipment of that company. Just like,
I know,
but
like,
company.
do you know how much a grenade is?
No, I actually have no idea.
Well, let's say a grenade's $700.
Let's just say it.
We sell them all for $702. We're golden. And all it took was us sucking a dick. You get what I'm saying?
Stop. Okay, wait. So an M67 grenade costs $45. But the U.S. Army buys them in bulk and legally. So theoretically, if we had a shipment of grenades...
let's say 1,000 grenades.
Let's say 1,000 grenades, 1,000 times 45.
$45K.
$45,000.
Put all that shit in ExxonMobil like we talked about, it's over.
Put that into a gas company, a gas conglomerate, an oil conglomerate, and we're fucking
Dude, every time
set.
I pass an ExxonMobil, I just think about you now.
Come on.
Because you're like, what about ExxonMobil?
So what about ExxonMobil? Well, listen, they pay a pretty good dividend.
They do pay a great
But it's
dividend.
also like, unfortunately, like each stock's like 114, which is not insanely expensive, but it's a little more expensive than some of the other dividends.
Well, the things that scare me about gas and like oil is it's so fucking volatile.
Finite. Yeah, well, that and it's pretty finite.
But I mean, we'll be dead before.
We'll be dead before that happens. Yes.
Like Trump says one thing about oil, Exxon jumps from 107 to 32. Fucking in 2020.
But if you could get it at 32,
I agree.
That'd be great. And
I'm just scared to buy it now.
No, I do understand.
In case it jumps back down to 32.
Yes.
So I don't want to lose my principal value. I've already done that with the podcast.
100%. Listen, we're getting there. All right, calm down. Did you see these Trojans? You see that?
I did.
That's the new marketing tactic.
Yeah. I mean, we're virgins, but
yes.
What I like about the Trojans is, especially the ultra
thin. Yes, you got to
get some good lubrication.
Get some good lubrication, and you can still feel mostly everything.
Yeah.
You want the super feeling. You get the bear skin.
Bear skins. Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy. Good times. Good times.
We're thinking about making a condom company.
That'd be great.
Call it Back Clappers.
That would actually not be a bad name. Like that's actually a pretty good name. We really should just we should patent that right now.
Back Clappers.
Just go ahead and just create an LLC.
Great. Just call it Back Clappers.
Call it Back Clappers.
The Back Clappers Trading Co.
Stop.
I think I saw a condom brand once, and I swear it was something gay. It was like butt sex. Like I swear it was like in the bum.
Well, first off, I mean, really, so what an odd choice for a name for a condom company, Trojan. You named it after an ancient city-state that, may or may not have actually existed. Like, that's a pretty wild fucking name.
It is.
I mean, it's a good name.
It's a great name,
but
though.
it's such a, it's not something I would think of.
Well, the weird thing is, it almost sounds like something we'd come up with.
It does actually
for a
kind of sound like
company
something
name.
we'd come up with because it's so insane. Like, we'd call it like Centurion Condoms.
Well, the other condom companies, they're like Durex.
There's Durex.
What else is there? I mean, there's obviously the Playboy
there's,
condoms, but those aren't.
No, yeah, those are
numerous
like
of
a different kind of thing.
I'm gonna look up condom.
Yeah, look up
companies.
condom brands. I know there's more. There's like I think there's one that's like Skin, like with an X or something. I don't know. It's some weird something weird.
Okay, there's Camino thin condoms.
Okay, all right.
Lifestyle.
That's great. Got that
Lifestyle
old school song.
skins.
Got that 6th grade rap song.
My One condoms.
Okay, sure.
Atlas condoms.
Okay, named after a Greek god.
Well, it's
Titan.
literally Atlas holding up the world.
Literally, yeah, it's literally a Greek titan. Yeah.
Durex.
Okay, yeah, we know that one.
EXS.
EXS,
Yeah.
like just the letters E and X.
Yeah, FC2.
FC2, sure.
Glide.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yes.
Trojan Magnum condoms, large lubricated. There's
yeah.
Lilo Hex. That's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. That's an interesting one.
There's Mates.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
Mates.
hell, that's great. Mates, that's awesome. Yeah, honestly, we could do a condom company. We could do it. We could make it happen.
Okay, we should do it.
We should
'Cause
actually do it.
people might look down on us for making a condom company, but if you really
they already look down on
well,
us.
if you think about it realistically, it's not that we're doing something bad. We're actually promoting safe sex.
Safe sex, contraceptives. It's a
To
good
find the
idea.
right condom size, you can measure your girth and compare it to the nominal width of different condom sizes.
Everybody's had those times when they were going through puberty, like in middle school,
Yeah.
6th, 7th grade, where they got a ruler and they measured their dick, right? That happens. You've done that. I've done that. Pretty much every guy's done that. And, what I can safely say is that we're below average.
We are.
And
Well, one right here is 1.8 inches, and that's what we're rocking
that's
with.
that's for girth or that's length?
No, that's width.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Sorry.
On a side note though, nothing to be ashamed of though. Having a slightly smaller penis.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's really not anything to unless you have like a literal 1-incher hard, then you're fine.
Well, a lot of girls, a lot of times they're like, "Oh, I need a 10-inch dick," and like I said, I don't fuck around like that, but they're lying.
They think
Because they've never actually
They've
experienced.
never had it.
Well, they've never experienced like Mutombo's big BBC, and it would hurt them.
Well, I mean, the way that you got to imagine it is like, okay, imagine you just take like a giant cucumber, like a baseball bat, and like put it in your vagina. There's no way that would feel good. I mean, obviously, okay, yeah, maybe if you're one of those girls that happens to have like a really big opening, but like barring that situation, like, could you imagine? That's insane.
It's insane.
Like,
Well, like I
some of
said,
these guys, they've got some monster dongs.
and
right?
a lot of these guys you see in the porn companies,
Oh, it's insane.
they're created in labs. Like
Yeah.
they literally have some cyberpunk ass dicks. Like it's been
No, it's ridiculous.
enhanced
It's-
by like some warp magic. It's
It is
crazy.
pretty crazy.
For me personally, I prefer like anywhere from 5 to 6 inches.
Exactly.
That's
yeah, I
my
think
preferred length.
I think that the perfect length, and I've talked to a lot of girls about this as well. I think that generally the perfect length, in the most ideal situation, is somewhere around 6.5 inches for a lot of girls. Obviously, some
You're
of
just
them,
like giving them like Q&As and
yeah,
shit. You're like, hey,
obviously, I had only female friends growing up.
I forgot
until
about
I
that.
met you, which was when I was 18. So I literally had only female friends. So I was privy to these conversations.
and you started wrestling.
And then yes, we started the gay behavior at that point, and that was it was all a downhill slope after that. But lots of times I do find that most girls they tend to like the dicks that are around 6.5 inches, sometimes 7 inches.
That's respectable.
That's usually
Yeah.
like for most girls that would be like the perfect length. But also most girls do not mind a penis that's 5 inches or sometimes even 4 inches. There's a lot of girls that are fine with that. As they say, it's as long as you wield it with confidence.
I definitely get it, and at the end of the day, it's about the connection you have with somebody. It's about how they work.
It's about how they use
and
it.
it's about how you feel about it. So everyone's different. Do not
Exactly.
let Pornhub, Brazzers, Dog Fart, all that crazy shit actually mess with you, because at the end of the day, reality and the internet is something different.
Absolutely agree. We are about wrapped up with our intro. However,
Yeah,
do
keep
you
going.
wanna
I'm just
take-
doing a little bit of social media stuff. I'll take it off. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, you
Sorry,
got it?
I'm trying to just make sure we get the social media stuff going.
I can go ahead and do the first story if you want to. If you want to get the.
I'll go ahead and do it. I got mine pulled
You got
up
it.
right
All
here,
right,
yeah.
all right. We're going into that first Reddit
Okay.
story.
Am I the asshole for not letting small children stay at my house?
I like it.
Myself, 34, and my spouse, 28, do not have children. Some of his friends do. Some of mine do as well, though. Some of my friends have kids that are 13 plus, and some of his friends' kids are 2 and through 5 years old.
Okay.
Where I might be the asshole is a few weeks ago, one of his friends came over to hang out. My spouse didn't know he was coming with his wife and her children 2 and 3 years old. So they get here, we hang out and play the game, shoot the shit, etc., etc. His friends didn't want to drive home, so they assumed they could stay here. I said no, that I don't have kids and my home is not childproof. Also, I have some expensive stuff they could mess up if they aren't monitored, work, computer, curio, cabinet, etc. Not that they don't watch their kids.
Cheerios?
Curio.
Oh,
I don't know what the fuck that
I don't
is.
know what that is. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Not that they
Continue.
don't watch their kids, but what if they wake up before the parents? Now that is on me because it's my house if they get hurt or break something. They left kind of mad, and now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for saying no to the couple and their kids staying the night.
So I mean, really, I don't. You don't. You're not required to give lodging to any individual, right? Like that's just right off the bat. You don't have to let someone stay at your house. May his friends think he's an asshole? They might. Yeah, sure. But you don't have to let someone stay at your house. And honestly, that's a pretty valid reason. It's not like he just said, screw you, I hate your children. His reasoning made perfect sense. They could break something or, get into something. I mean, kids, they're like cats.
Yeah.
They're mischievous.
Yeah,
They
and
are.
I think at the end of the day, it's exactly like you said. It's a insurance thing at the end of the day, right? And at the end of the day, no means no. No is a complete sentence. Obviously, sometimes maybe you want to explain something to someone just to be nice, but at the end of the day, no means no, and not everybody likes kids. Frankly, half the time I think kids are annoying as fuck.
A lot of kids
It depends. Obviously, I don't mind having them in my house to a degree as long as they're supervised, but at the end of the day, I don't blame this person for not wanting a ton of just different kids in their house when they do have expensive computers and things like that, because kids are kind of like cats, and
They are.
at the end of the day,
They really are.
we know how destructive cats can be.
Oh yeah, no, I love them, but they are absolutely some mischievous,
Yeah.
mischievous creatures.
I would definitely say that they are not the asshole for that.
No,
one.
yeah, I would agree. I would say the verdict on that one is not the asshole. And honestly, he had it was pretty reasonable all around. I didn't think that was anything.
The
that
unfortunate thing is, how a lot of people, they get very butthurt about their children or
I
their
know.
pets.
I
If
know.
someone doesn't want me coming to their house with my kid, I'm not going to bring the kid.
crazy. Exactly. I
won't be mad about it.
I completely agree. I'll go ahead and get into that next story. This is also an Am I the Asshole story. So the title is Am I the Asshole for Being Brutally Honest to My Wife About Cheating? So, this happened over the past weekend. We were at a party with friends and the question popped up. We essentially had a small never had I ever game, which is pretty childish looking back, but we were all in our late 20s, so it's not that bad. One of the questions was, never have I ever forgiven a partner for cheating. A few people counted that as something they did, including my wife. I expressed my surprise about it, since I wouldn't expect her to, of all people, to give someone a chance after cheating. Other than that, the night went on just fine and I was driving us home. I don't drink. I hate alcohol. It's us. I asked her about the whole situation with forgiving a partner for cheating. In her words, her ex-boyfriend of so many years back cheated on her. He came clean about it and they tried again, but then he went and did it again in the same manner. She said that she didn't regret giving him a second chance and would do so again if I happen to cheat. So if the guy happened to cheat. I figured that this is just her being drunk and I have no intention in cheating on her. In absence of any answer from me, she asks if I'd do the same for her. I bluntly told her that I wouldn't be able to forgive her cheating, nor would I ever expect to be forgiven for her cheating on her. Short of physical abuse or other heinous acts, it's the worst thing you can do to someone you love. Agreed. I don't know what happened to her after that, but she stopped talking the rest of the car ride. Ever since then, she's been dead silent on me. She isn't her usual bubbly self, and she's withdrawn when I have conversations with her. She avoids any questions about what happened on Saturday night too. I asked our mutual friends about any context I may have missed, and a few of them said that she must have taken it a bit too hard, as in me not being able to forgive her hypothetical cheating means I don't love her as much as she loves me. Her two oldest friends kind of implied that I shouldn't have been so blunt about it. So this is an interesting one because, one, I completely agree with this guy. You know, the cheating, besides things like physical abuse and other like really just awful stuff, is the worst thing you can do in a relationship. It is. So that situation, you know, his logic and justification, everything makes perfect sense. And honestly, her being so butthurt about it almost makes me think that, you know, there might be something going on behind the scenes. Like maybe she's butthurt because she is cheating and she knows he won't forgive her. Yeah. So now she's like, oh shit, you know, what do I do?
She's probably cheating again, but also at the same time, you know, she doesn't want to take responsibility for the situation either. And this is actually something I've been talking about, right? And obviously cheating in a relationship is usually the end of the relationship. Yes. So he should have been out of there. But sometimes things are a one-off, but generally if people do something once or twice, or God forbid 3 times, it's a pattern. Yeah. Right? Hold on one sec. People go to school, right, and they learn about patterns when they're young, and they think that this stuff doesn't matter. If she cheated once, she will cheat again.
Well, I was going to say, so actually what it seems like is she had a boyfriend in the past that cheated on her, and she forgave him. And
then he cheated again. Yeah, yes. It's a pattern.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but yes, what you're saying. Besides that, I completely agree.
So she didn't cheat on her current boyfriend.
It doesn't seem like, he doesn't know if she cheated or not.
Oh, okay. I
was just saying, it seems like she might be getting butthurt about him saying he wouldn't forgive her because maybe either she has cheated on him or she had thought about it.
Yeah, or maybe she's mad that she forgave her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, but then like he wouldn't, do the same for her. There's a lot of potential conclusions to be drawn here, but
interesting stuff though.
It's interesting because, you know, I mean, I would have to say, no, he's not the asshole. I completely agree with his stance on that. That's my stance, right? I mean, as far as cheating goes, that's the end of the relationship as far as I'm concerned. Now, you know, obviously there's a lot of people that have different viewpoints on that, and that's fine, right? You can absolutely do different stuff in these different scenarios. You don't have to forgive someone, and if you want to forgive someone, that's up to you. But I do generally believe that when it comes to cheating, if they've done it to you once, they will do it again. It's unfortunately, I've never seen that not be the case.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, right? I mean, look at business. If someone screws you over in a business sense or in a personal sense once, they'll probably do it again. It's like, take a friend group, right? If a girl posts a picture of you and she's your friend, she tries to embarrass you and she's being a bitch. Yeah. She does that once or twice.
Absolutely.
If she's done it once or twice, she's going to do it again.
She's going to do it again.
People just need to accept these facts. They don't want to. Humans work in patterns. Yes. You can change your patterns.
You can.
But do people really want to? No, because patterns are comfortable.
And there's only going to be change if they want to make the change. Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing that has to happen. And you know, I've seen people, so I mean, now what I have seen, I've seen people that they've cheated in one relationship because of, you know, whatever reason, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter what the reason is, but, you know, then they were like, all right, that was messed up, I shouldn't have done that, and then they get into a new relationship and they actually, you know, they do it right, they're faithful to them and they don't cheat. So I think that when you're in a relationship with someone and they cheat, I do think that that's pretty much the end of that relationship. Yeah. However, that doesn't mean that person is completely untrustworthy in a new relationship. Sure. I just think it means you can't be trusted in that previous relationship, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
You know, because I've seen people that, you know, they've made that mistake and then they realize like, all right, this was a messed up thing to do. Now, if somebody does it and they have no remorse and they don't, you know, regret it, then you probably should not trust that person.
Or if they've cheated in like several different relationships.
Exactly.
It's probably a pattern.
It is. I completely agree. So verdict on that one, again, not the asshole. Do you have another story?
I do.
Perfect.
Jeez. All right. I, 30 female, was at my best friend's 30 female's house the other day. Yeah. Just hanging out at her kitchen table and telling her I was feeling pretty hungry and asking if she'd like to go down the street to a place that makes amazing salads.
Ooh. I like salads.
They have a house salad with a specialty sauce I was craving, and I mentioned that to her. She said sure, but to wait a while because she needed to get some chores done first. You got to get the chores done first.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, her husband, 34M, was chatting with us too, then turned around to the counter to make something. I assumed he was making himself lunch. He's never cooked for us before and didn't say he was making us anything. I saw him chopping vegetables and tearing up chicken with his bare hands. He came out with a big salad bowl and said we didn't have to go to the place down the street. He made enough salad for everyone and bought a few bottles of their signature salad dressing that I was talking about earlier.
Well, shit. Sounds like a nice guy.
It does. It does.
Continue.
But here's the problem.
Here's the problem. Let's do it.
This guy is notorious for not washing his hands.
Oh,
He's
God.
a nasty fuck.
Terrible.
My best friend is a nurse, and she's constantly complaining to me about how gross his hand-washing hygiene is. She's told me how he constantly gets sick because he never washes his hands. That's right-wing propaganda.
That's not really how that works, but yeah, sure.
Whenever he travels, he's always coming back with a bug of some sort, and my best friend says it's because of his lack of hand-washing even after using the bathroom. I've also seen him wipe huge amounts of snot from his nose with his bare hands, wipe it on his jeans, and not wash his hands. That's yummy.
Oh, God.
And I know he didn't wash his hands before making the salad because I was in the room and I saw him preparing the food and thought to myself, yeah, I see what my friend means by him never washing his hands.
Oh, okay. Is it still going?
It's still going.
Okay.
He's making himself lunch and didn't run the tap once, not even to rinse the veggies. So I'm sitting there awkwardly, not sure how to blow this off without offending him. I make up some lame excuse about not being hungry anymore. It was hard to think of a good excuse that quickly, plus I'm not the quickest thinker when I'm hungry. He looks a little hurt, and I make up some lie about how I'm on my period and that makes my hunger fluctuate. Not great, I know, but again, I was really put on the spot so quickly.
Honestly, pretty good, quick thinking.
It is. My best friend was there when this all went down. She finished what she was doing, and we left to go to town. A few blocks down, I grab a burger. She notices and she knows me well enough to know when I'm lying and says, "You really didn't want to eat my husband's salad, huh?" I confessed and told her about the hand-washing thing. She looked hurt and said that she could tell from his expression that he was hurt by my rejection of his offer and that he clearly didn't buy my lie. I said I'm sorry, but with everyone getting the flu nowadays and having a new baby, I just don't want to risk it. My son is 3 months old, and my husband was watching him this day, and my best friend was still upset. Okay, so first of all, at the end of the day, if there's a nasty fucker that doesn't wash his hands consistently,
yes,
and he's handling my veggies, I wouldn't eat it either.
And I completely agree. Here's the thing. I do want to touch on the fact that the thought that, just not washing your hands is the leading to all sickness, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I know some people that don't wash their hands and they don't get sick.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. But still, as far as anything in the food industry, kitchen, anything like that is concerned, when it comes to preparing meals, you need to wash your hands beforehand.
If you're in there
even for me, when I'm just making food for myself,
I usually do that
I'll
as well.
usually wash my hands unless I'm just making a sandwich.
Yeah, if I'm in there taking a shit, you know what I'm saying, and I wipe my fucking ass and I don't wash my hands, I shouldn't go be handling someone's salad, right? So at the end of the day,
at least use hand sanitizer.
Well, yeah,
use something.
Her life is up to her, and if she sees a guy that doesn't wash his hands, then she doesn't have to eat his food, and she's not required to eat anyone's food either.
I agree, and and honestly, I would have told her like, hey, I tell your husband I said I'm sorry, but unfortunately I just didn't feel comfortable with that, and that's completely fair. That's a totally reasonable thing.
There's this weird I'm gonna get this water.
You're good.
There's this weird fucking thing about like having to eat the food that people prepare at their house. I guess I could see how it could be rude to refuse, but sometimes I just don't like things. If you make a veggie puss sandwich with a bunch of shit that I don't like on it, or like a meat kebab, I might not eat it, and it's not rude, but I don't want to eat that food.
Well, and here's the thing. I also think that the context matters, right? If you already know, like, going into it, what you're going to be eating, or like what they're serving, I like for me like when I have dinners with Jamie's family, like she always tells me like, all right, they're doing this, they're gonna be making this and that, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to eat all of that. I'll eat some of that, but not all of it, right? And she's like, all right, that's fine, right? Because it's going into it. It's like, you know, it's fine. Like if someone goes into a situation thinking that they're gonna eat it and you know then the person refuses, I can understand how that might be a little bit upsetting, but you know it's not like nobody's required to eat you know anything.
Yeah,
I've have to eat
yeah,
anything.
and I've really never cared about stuff like that. If I offer someone food,
yeah
and they reject it,
it's
perfectly fine. And
Exactly.
her family seems decently cool, but it's insane how many
some
people,
families do get very offended.
It's insane how many people get extremely offended if you do not eat the
Yeah.
dinner that they prepared or the food that they offer you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, I think especially in this case, she even said that he doesn't usually like. She had no reason to think that he was making food for them because he's never done it before. So that's an understandable thing. You know, like obviously, you know, if he had said in the beginning, like before he started making it, like, hey, you know, what if I make a salad? You know, then she could have been like, all right, hey, just wash your hands or something, and that could have the whole thing could have been avoided. But you know, he kind of just took it upon himself, and you know, she didn't know what was going on, and he didn't tell her. So you know, really, you know, it's an unfortunate situation. You know, I'm sure he was trying to be nice. He was, you know, he thought he was doing something nice, but you know, she's not required to eat that. And also, you know, it makes perfect sense having a newborn baby. I mean, newborn babies, they can get sick like from nothing. So I completely agree.
Yeah, their immune systems are
not good.
very weak, and you don't want to, especially if the flu's going around. You know, I think I just had the flu a couple weeks ago.
You probably did.
You don't want to fucking catch that shit
Yeah.
if you don't have to, right? And especially as a kid, I don't care how good the modern medicine is. A little
It's
baby
dangerous.
can die
It's
from
dangerous.
these things.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it's completely understandable. You know, I mean, it's and it's unfortunate for them, but like that's just what it is.
Sad times.
So you know, I definitely would agree. She's not the asshole in that situation. It's just an unfortunate.
People are very sensitive.
It is. Yeah, no, a lot of people are very sensitive, and I mean, you know. If he really wanted to do a nice gesture, I totally understand that. But if it was me, like if I was in his shoes, I would have been like, "Hey, do you want me to make a salad for all of us?" Like I don't like for me
also,
the surprise aspect of it doesn't really.
It's stupid, but
make
also,
sense.
I mean, that girl kind of sounded excited about going to that specific restaurant and having their specific salad. So
Yeah.
for him to kind of just go ahead and try to take that away and make the salad is a bit weird. So
it was a bit of an
he should
odd thing.
ask.
He probably
first.
should have asked. That's what I would have done. And you know, there's a chance that if he had asked, she would have been like, yeah, sure. And then, you know, she could have just told him like, hey, just wash your hands beforehand and everything would have been fine, right? But unfortunately, that didn't happen, sadly. Yeah. So yeah, that's an unfortunate situation.
I'm curious if he would have been offended by her saying
to wash her hands. Yeah,
just because he is a nasty motherfucker.
I mean, well, here's the thing, right? You know, I wonder if it's one of those situations where he genuinely just is just like extremely like it goes over his head, you know, like he just doesn't even think to wash his hands, or if he's just like one of those people that just like eats their own shit type of situation. You know what I mean? Like if he's genuinely just like intentionally doing that, or if it's like he's just like somehow just absolutely forgetting. Because unfortunately, if you're not like taught that growing up, you might like there are some people that just like that, you know, because their parents are just like, you know, some useless people. They're just not taught like, you know, proper like etiquette.
Yeah, my
you know?
issue when I was younger is I used to overwash my hands a lot. So it'd be winter and I would be washing my hands a fuck time, but just washing them in a regular way, right?
Right.
I'd use the bathroom a lot, and I would wash my hands, but I would wash them so much that they would get chapped and have different issues.
Sure,
so
yeah.
I had the opposite problem growing up and no one really pushed hand washing on me. It was always kind of something I just did in general.
And I was going to say, sometimes, I mean, like, really, I can't think of that many times, like, even just going through school or anything where they were, I mean, obviously, like, in, grade school, like, in elementary school, they were like, oh, wash your hands and stuff. But, like, past that, I don't really remember a lot of people, like, really making an emphasis on that. Sometimes that might have happened, but, I do wonder if it was, like, a situation of, like, just, like, somebody who, like, if he's intentionally just, like, he's just, like, refuses to wash his hands, or if he just forgets to.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a mixture of both.
Could be both.
Maybe the fact that he's, in his own home, maybe he's kind of just thinking of it in a more casual way.
Usually when you're in the comfort of your own home, you're not as concerned with with things like that, right? You know, you're at least generally, you know, like because you're at home, you know, it's like your safe place. You can do whatever you want, more or less. So there could be some of that going on. Although the whole like, you know, like taking a shit and then like not washing his hands, that's a little insane.
The issue with taking a shit and not washing your hands is even though it's your own shit, your body can still produce E. coli.
Yeah.
So if you take a shit and you wipe,
or you could even just get pink eye.
You get pink eye, which I love, but you take a shit and you wipe and you get some of it on your hand, even though you weren't literally sick with E. coli. It manifested in your gut.
It can still happen, yeah.
And then
it's kind of weird though.
It is weird. You kind of put it in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
And then you're sick with E. coli and you almost die.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely.
It's a rough situation.
It is a rough situation, but yeah, no, that's that's an interesting one. But the moral of the story is wash your hands. Right, that's the moral.
Or at least try to.
At least try to
put some water on that bit.
At least get something going. But anyways, I've got another story here. I got to re-pull it up because unfortunately Reddit just like kicked me out for a second. Okay, here we go. So, if you don't have a friend, if you don't have a friend circle in your 20s, you're likely doomed to be alone, and that's okay. So, this is just somebody's take on this specific opinion. Most people don't have time to meet new people as an adult, and meeting new people in general can be a difficult thing, especially if you aren't into parties or hookup culture. Some might suggest that you can meet people through hobbies, but that often doesn't go further than small talk, and that's okay. Being alone at times is difficult, but with the way this world is, it's perfectly normal to not have friends as an adult. As long as you still find meaning in life and you enjoy your own company and love yourself, you don't have to keep chasing to be accepted. So this is an interesting one because I like his overall message, but I disagree because on a fundamental level, whether people like it or not, humans need other human contact. That is just part of being human. That's the human experience. That's ingrained into our DNA. And when you don't have that, you can and will feel like you're missing something because you are.
I wonder, because but here's the big issue, right? Is it's so hard to actually find good friends. I wonder if he's just foregoing finding random friends. Because let me tell you something: you go out to a bar or you go out to a venue, anywhere,
shitheads. Most
of those people will stab you in the back. They'll kill you. They'll kick you when you're down. And a lot of your good friends you do find growing up from like 10 to 18, 20, 24. So I do wonder if he's just like, I don't know if I can find an actual stable friend. Let me just forego it.
And that is also, that's a possibility. I think, and listen, right, you know, for me, right, you're literally my only friend.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're my best friend, but you're also my only friend. And that's okay. All I need is the one friend.
I know. Yeah.
You know, that's all. Like, and really, I mean, everybody, despite what they think, they really only need at least one person that they can truly count on. Now, not to say you can't have more, of course, but you only need that one person. But you do need at least one. Yeah. Like, if you, because I mean, you remember back in, the hermit days when you had like no outside contact and you were just by yourself, right? You know, that was that was a rough time for
dangerous.
You know, you were getting really in your head about stuff and having a really bad time. And I had the same thing.
Self-isolated.
Exactly. And for me, unfortunately, I wasn't self-isolated. I just didn't have like the confidence and social skills to go out there and make friends for a while. But it was terrible. Humans need human connection, but also it is, on the flip side, it is very easy to find a lot of really bad people out there and to make friends with the wrong people. Yeah. So I think the overall message of what he's saying, like just, learning to be happy and to love yourself, that's great. I agree. But you also still need to find good people.
Yeah, maybe he'll find a girlfriend. He'll get the connection.
Exactly.
He'll get the connection that way, right? Because, I mean, girlfriend could still work, but it is good to find, a good friend. It's just so hard to do. Like, the chances of what happened with us or even finding a good friend can be very low.
Extremely low.
Now, it depends on where you go, right? If you go to the local MMA gym or you go to, like, the local chess club and there's a good culture there, chances are you'll meet some good people. But it just depends on where you're looking at them for.
It is.
The bar, probably not good. Strip club,
not.
Probably not good.
No, any sort of degenerate scene is not where you want to be finding friends. Because unfortunately, if you're at a place where, it's a cesspool of degeneracy, you're probably going to end up finding a friend that's a degenerate, in which case you're probably not going to have a good friend.
Well, also, I think you have to think of what are you guys bonding over? So me and you, we bonded over, shared childhood
Everything.
experiences,
Yeah.
and then
everything.
all of our interests, right?
Yeah.
What are you bonding over? Are you bonding over chess and your childhood experiences and other things, or are you bonding over drinking? Because one thing you guys got to realize, and if you're hanging out with people who drink a lot, you
Said you out there.
if you're hanging out with people who drink a lot, think about what you're bonding with them over. And a lot of times you'll come to realize that it's just drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, really, if you if you strip back everything else about the relationship and you look at what you guys actually have in common, like, for like a lot of those friend groups that are like going to the parties and clubs and stuff, most of the time it's just like alcohol and drugs that they have in common, which, it's like, here's the thing. If you want to do, just a bunch of random crap, you can do that, but it's not really going to be the best thing for you in general. You're not really going to find good friends doing that. Unfortunately, you're going to find a lot of people that are struggling in life usually, and they're trying to use that as a coping mechanism. So you're probably not going to find the kind of people that you want to find.
Yeah, well, it's also, hold on, sorry, 1 second.
No, you're good.
It's also coworkers, right? Yes. So a lot of people will bond with their coworkers over just work, or the fact that they hate their boss, right? It's just like the people who bond with their friends over just alcohol.
Absolutely.
You have to look at your friends of what you're bonding with them over. Is it, okay, maybe a shared sport and then, shared childhood memories and good things and things that you're into? Or is it drugs, alcohol, degeneracy, and the fact that you hate your boss?
Yes.
You really got to look at these things. Because with me and you, we bonded over so many different things. And at the end of the day, I think one thing about humans is it's very easy for them to bond with people over negative experiences.
Negative things, yeah.
Usually
absolutely.
You bond with people over negative things over positive things, and I'd like to reverse that narrative a little bit if people can. So,
absolutely. I mean, despite what we sometimes sound like, we're absolutely about spreading more positive mindset. We don't necessarily talk about it all the time, but we absolutely promote the idea of trying to find a healthier lifestyle, both with fitness and actual like health, but also mental health, right? Because it's such an important thing, and it's something that a lot of people they skip out on.
Do you know how many people me and you have seen specifically?
Oh yeah,
that are trauma bonded with people?
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy.
And it always ends terribly.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Now, obviously, me and you, most of our bonding is good things, but we've also bonded over, like our dads being fucking shitheads.
Exactly.
But still, for the most part, things are positive, and we're not doing like crack, not yet at least.
And having some negative bonds isn't necessarily there's nothing necessarily wrong with sharing a negative experience with someone, as long as that's not the basis of like all of your fucking relationship situations. Like if the whole basis of your guys' relationship, like, we've seen some people, like in a romantic relationship, they bond over the fact that they were both drug addicts or something like that.
We've seen that one.
We've seen that
a couple times.
We've seen that, unfortunately, and we know how that ended, right? Didn't end well. It's ridiculous, and you don't want that in your life. It will bring you down. It will hinder your happiness, and that is not something that is really good to keep in your life.
Well, I like to quote this God.
I bet you
he
do.
said, "If someone hurts children, throw a millstone around their neck and throw them into the sea." So
who was that?
God.
Oh, actually,
yeah,
God.
like God.
I thought you were like just referring to like some philosopher as God. Okay, yeah, God.
That's a God. So the Judean Christian God.
That's a wild thing to say. I love that.
Well, it's true. Don't hurt children.
No, it's true. It's true. That's just hilarious.
It's very specific, right?
It is it's very vivid.
What if he's like cut their nipples
picture.
off and put them in their ears?
Honestly, great idea. I wouldn't be surprised. It probably says that somewhere in the Bible.
It does. Actually, I looked up like all the sins. I sent you a list.
Yes,
we gotta talk
remember.
about that. There's a lot of them.
There's a.
It's like calling people fools. We just do that every day.
What an odd thing to be on the list.
Yeah, I guess it's like insulting someone. I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's insulting.
But another one is anxiety, which I need to delve.
You imagine?
I know I need to delve deeper into that one because that's nuts.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I'm sure there's an explanation for it, but
Yeah, I guess like maybe because if you have anxiety, you're
not
stressed about
trusting
stuff
in
that
God.
Yeah.
We need to bring back stoning. I know we're getting a little random here, but stoning,
we are getting a little bit random, but
stoning,
not a bad idea. Like for ourselves.
Yeah.
just get people to throw a crap ton of rocks at us. Build character.
See, my toxic trait is I feel like I could survive the rock.
As a lot of people do.
Because I survived 2 leg kicks from Jack Schwartz last night.
Stop it. Ridiculous.
So I think I could survive a rock.
Well, it's like back in the day when I was on steroids, right? I just thought I could fight like 17 people at once. And I actually thought that.
It's too bad you didn't get beat up.
It's too bad that I didn't it wasn't for lack of trying.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it. I was intentionally trying to start fights. It just somehow it never happened. It's actually really crazy looking back on it, how somehow, even though I was intentionally going out and trying to start fights, it didn't happen.
It's because God didn't want you in fights.
You're right. I mean, honestly, somebody was looking out for me. God, fucking could have been Harkin.
Who?
From Lord
okay,
Harkin.
okay.
Or it could have been, could have been anyone, really. It could have been...
Bernie Madoff.
Could you imagine? Yeah, it could have been Bernie Madoff. It could have been Jordan Belfort. Could have been anyone.
I would love to get him on here.
Oh, it'd be great.
He'll come to us and he'll be like, sell me this pen.
I'd be like, no, I don't. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'd be like, yeah, all right, buy this pen.
I'm like, who needs a pen anymore?
Yeah,
so everything's online.
So sell this pen. Yeah, maybe honestly, just be like, sell these condoms.
Like, you got a big dick, Cicero?
Could you
put
imagine?
this on?
No, but
Trojan.
we do. Going back to the original topic we started this with, we need to sell condoms.
Back clappers, like I said.
Back clappers. That's actually a really good name.
I agree. Back clap. What do you guys think? Back clappers? Yes or no?
If anyone has some ideas on that, like let us know.
Back clapper, man fucker, gorilla gripper,
stop,
taint sucker.
Could you imagine? It'd be great.
This is why we're gonna get demonetized.
We're definitely not getting any advertisement revenue from this, but hopefully this has been an entertaining episode.
It has. We're out of time.
We're out of time. I figured as much. So hopefully this has been an entertaining episode. Hopefully you guys like this. We're gonna keep going with this. The Reddit stories. That's kind of gonna be our thing going forward.
Let me know what you think of them. If you guys don't like them, let us know. If you like them, let us know.
Yeah. If you don't like them, we'll switch it up. But hopefully people like them. Hopefully people find them interesting. Our commentary, at least.
I agree.
Something.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. Like, subscribe, and repent.
Because
your time is coming to get stoned and back clapped.
Ridiculous.
Back clappers, baby. Shit.